Hey y'all, the Spiritual Genie here with a story that really tugs at my heartstrings. It gets me emotional when I talk about it. The Maui fires, natural or unnatural disaster, whatever it is you believe, irrelevant. A lot of things went wrong in that situation. It was handled poorly, and people lost their lives. Maui was just devastated. So the entire town of Lahaina has burned to the ground, for those of you that don't know. And for my returning subscribers, welcome back. And for anyone that's new, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button to be notified whenever I upload. We're a nice little growing tribe here, a little community of free thinkers and spiritual seekers. You know, I'm an investigative reporter at heart, and I love to speak for those who don't have a voice. And some of the things I've been hearing about the Maui INFERNO, it's being called, is absolutely disturbing. From the immediate attempts at land grabbing the natives of Lahaina to just hearing things like children were sent home from school and potentially perished alone on their own in their homes without their parents. It's absolutely tragic. And I needed to make this video because I did a live stream tonight. You can go check that out if you want. It's in the live section. But I had some sound issues, so I am going to show you guys some footage of locals after this, after I'm done just kind of giving some introduction to the video. And my heart just absolutely breaks for the people of Lahaina, for all the lives that were lost, and just the town's leveled, right? People were barricaded with nowhere to go. The water was shut off. The alarms were not sounded. And I know the person responsible for that resigned, so does that make it better? No. You know, it doesn't matter what I believe. I want to use my platform as a place for locals and for people who have actually endured this tragedy to be able to speak their truth. So I'm just going to let, these stories tell themselves, and you guys can see how these people's testimony is going to speak. It's going to speak volumes to, what's going on. And whether you want to make your mind up about if there's a larger agenda at play here, which many of us have been talking about for a very long time. I've predicted this to come this year. I've seen that a lot of natural disasters and a lot of unnatural disasters, potentially, whatever you believe, like I said, it's irrelevant. So I do have my opinions, but we're not going to go into that as much. I'm just going to show you guys some footage that I gathered from TikTok because it was one of the only places I could actually find, like real raw footage from locals about what's going on and about what they witnessed and their perspective and their testimony. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Do better with the sound this time because it was atrocious the last time. It's just heartbreaking, like gut-wrenching. I mean, I really can't imagine what the people of Lahaina are going through. I'm going to post in the comments links to nonprofits and charities that are working directly with the people of Lahaina and the victims of this disaster. So check the comment section for that. If you can't share anything in a monetary value, go ahead and, use your voice to speak the truth. Globalists are instantly making land grabs to this sacred Hawaiian land that they've been wanting for forever. They've already been tricked out of their land. And now what? Smart cities? You guys can make up your own mind. There's a lot of testimonies from the people of Lahaina that trigger warning a little bit. So here we go. Cue video.
This is what Front Street, Lahaina looks like on Saturday, August 12th, 2023. You can see this fire was absolutely devastating. It burned everything. There's aluminum and glass melted everywhere in the street. And this is where, what I'm told is over 100 people, according to the Coast Guard, jumped in the water right around here.
But none of them were moving. And I walked all the way from Safeway to the chart house. Not one car had moved. And I was wondering what was stopping the traffic. Well, it was a policeman. And I got to the end and I looked up north. There were no obstructions. There was no reason to keep those cars there.
Are you serious?
I'm serious as a heart attack. And I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm under orders to keep them here. And I said, the fire is right around Safeway. It's going to hit Front Street. You know, these people got to get out of here. And he said, I'm following orders.
No way.
And so I just kept walking. Well, maybe he knows something I don't, you know. So, and I keep walking down the highway, and I look behind, no cars are coming out. I walked all the way to Waikuli Beach, still no cars coming out. And I started hearing boom, boom, boom. And then I heard people screaming and stuff.
You're saying they were blockaded in by the police at the end of Front Street?
Yeah.
Like where the restaurant is?
Right, where the chart house
Where the chart house was, I should say. There was a blockade there and they could not go any further.
Right, I walked.
What the hell?
I walked all the way from Safeway to there, not one car had moved. And people walking in front of me, the people in the cars are saying, would you like a ride? And they're going, oh, okay. And they'd get in. They asked me, I go, no, you better get out of here, you know. But they just, well, we were told to evacuate by car. Okay. So I just kept walking, and I got all the way to, like I said, the Civic Center, and then I started hearing all the explosions, and there was no one walking behind me or on bicycles or anything.
Saw a tiny bit of smoke up on the mountain. 45 minutes later, it was in the harbor, and we were just trying to get as many people out as possible.
It literally looks like we're in hell.
I know a couple mariners, they could not get their boat out of the harbor with these 80-mile-an-hour winds. The winds would have overpowered their vessel. I stole a skiff that didn't belong to me, but to get them on that skiff and get them out of the harbor. Our skiff the motor did die. When we heard that there were people in the water, we kind of sat down, weighed the pros and cons, and decided with this unreliable motor, we were going to take the chance and we're going to go in and we're going to look for people. It was so toxic when we went in there. It was so hot. And there was just this layer of ash and fuel. And we were being bombed by these big fire embers. I mean, there were fire tornadoes. And so we saw this popular surf spot where kids surf. And I can't make this up.
Look, the waves are on fire.
The wave was on fire. So the water was on fire where these people were trying to take shelter. It's smoky, it's windy. We pulled 2 children out of the water. That was all we could find, physically find. And then as far as getting people out of the harbor, it was 6 or 7 or 8, something like that.
You mentioned children. Have you spoken to any families who are still looking for their children? I mean, do we know how many kids are missing in all of this?
So I don't want to speculate, but I've talked to a lot of people, and one of them is a close friend of mine who is a wrestling coach here at Lahaina Luna on the west side, the local high school, one of the oldest high schools in the entire country. And he has an 8-year-old son, and one of the kids that he coaches, who's 8 years old, they just got news that he didn't make it. And so those stories are going to continue to come.
I'm here with Aswane Carol. We are in Wailuku, and we are here for the people, by the people, we the people, and we're continuing to ask the right questions to be able to get the right answers. And what we are hearing and what is being told on the mainland and around the world is not 100% truthful. And so we're here, and we're going to get some facts and some truths, but it's not enough. You need to spread this message. You need to share this message. You need to put this in as many people's eyes and ears as possible, because this is not just a fire. It's bigger than that. My brother.
It's way bigger. Is when you go in, you're going in large. Look at me, I'm a large man, but you're coming out as a small, broken man to see that and everything, and you have no words to express how you feel about what you saw. But with the people that actually lost their homes, that's the ones that we want to reach out. That's the ones we want to talk to, because we want to make sure Lahaina is strong. Lahaina is a strong community. And we want to make sure that we reach out to the people. We got to talk to the people that's lost their homes. And we got to talk to them. We got to make sure that their hope is not lost. There is hope. We got to make sure that they stay stronger now. And we got to just stay strong for each and every single one of us. And the truth is like, the supplies are stacked up over there. But nobody is really talking about getting the real supplies out there. Medications, 3M masks, insulins, those kind of medications for the people that depend on these stuffs. Air filtration systems, purification systems for the homes that didn't burn, but you're talking about dust, inhalations, lead, asbestos, exposure, a lot of that. There's so many things that it's not being talked and not being spread out to the people, because they don't have the knowledge about it. So that's what we got to talk to the people. When going out there, you talk to the people, you spread that. Okay, you explain to them, how hazard is it when you're going back in there? I know, I really do know just a fraction of the pain that you guys are going through, but I don't know the feeling and the pain that you guys really are going through. As we have brother over here and sister over here, they lost their home, just like everybody else. I'm not really good at this, and all I ask is stop saying I. We all lost everything. We lost family members. We lost houses. We lost Lahaina. But Lahaina is not lost because Lahaina is us. It's the community. Okay? It's only gone by ash, but we're going to rebuild them. But we're going to rebuild them stronger. That is it. Think of it like a phoenix. When a phoenix burns, it comes out of the ashes, but it comes out more stronger. And that's what we got to be right there.
So if there's a message to the people of Lahaina, what would that be right now?
Stay strong. Stay strong for each other. Talk to each other. Do not bother anything in. Talk to the volunteers, the guys that actually shutting it in right now, that's been doing it for the past. Talk to them. Don't hold it in. Talk to them, because if we're not hearing from the people, from you guys, we don't know. We don't know how we can help. So it's all about talking, the communication and all that.
Aloha, brother. We are with you to and through. We can do whatever we possibly can, but just know that there are a lot of people that feel the pain that is happening and want to do something about it. So instead of writing a check, instead of donating some used clothes, do something about it and talk about it and share it on your online community, on your different platforms, and let as many people know right now the suffering that is happening in this country, in America, in this state. This state is the land of the people. These people make this place the ohana that it has been for generations. And we must stay together and help them. All of us on the mainland, the other 49 states, need to assist and help in this mission. And this is not a short-term mission. This is a long, generational mission, and we have to give back to the people. My brother, God bless. One love. We are with you. Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha everybody. Just coming on here to give a quick update on some of the ridiculous things that are going on for us here in Lahaina. I'm okay. I have my home in Honokohau Valley. For those of you who don't know, it is my grandmother's house that was completely engulfed and taken by the fire. I got to my grandmother's house about 30 minutes before it was completely engulfed, and it's gone. It's burnt to the ground. But the problem right now is not, I mean, obviously it's all still a problem, but people here are suffering. There's not enough supplies, there's not enough food, there's not enough water, there's not enough gas, not enough propane. There's nothing here. There are people that are trying to bring all of these things in right now, currently as we speak. About 2 minutes ago, somebody just told me that they got turned away, regardless if they were a resident of Lahaina, regardless if they're a resident of Honokohau Valley, which I am from, and even people that live in Kahakuloa, which is closest to a lot of these roadblocks, are having a hard time even getting to their own homes. Now, the question is, and this is something similar that's been happening at Honolulu Bay this recent time, when we had the means to save and protect and prevent a catastrophe from happening. The public did, but our state and our federal government, like the Coast Guard, they denied us access to go and help. Now they're doing the same thing again at these roadblocks, denying people access to bring in supplies, just supplies for people to live. And I get it that they don't want to let all these people in because they're already spread thin, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It is a decimated area. I can't even tell you what the things that I've seen, and people want to leave. There are people here that want to leave, but they don't have gas to put in their car to leave. People are trying to bring gas in so that these people can just jump in their car and leave Lahaina. Take away the strain from the shelters, take away the strain from the food and water that they're taking from when they have a place that they can go to. Yet our state is still denying people access, and it's not they're not doing it friendly. I was on the phone just recently with Tiari Lawrence, and the cop on the other side of the phone was talking to her, talking down to her. Like, bro, people are in distress. People need these products. People need these supplies. Yet they're turning people away. I'm afraid. I have so many people here that I'm housing at my own place that I don't have enough food for. I don't have enough water for. Yet I'm afraid that if I leave to go and get the things that I do need, they won't let me back in. Right? My grandma, she needs her medicine. I have to go to Kahului to go get that myself. Nobody's gonna bring that here. Things are very specific to some people, and they need to get out and they need to get back in. Yet the state is failing us again. Okay, so people, I don't even know. I'm lost for words. I don't even know what to do, how to go about this problem. But if anybody has any recommendations, please do put it in the comments and give me a call. If you have any ways to get certain things into Lahaina, with whatever avenue, with the police officers, if you can get an escort in or whatever, I don't even know. But there are things here that are specific to people, and more people are gonna die. More than has already been, more lives than I can even count. I've seen, and people are gonna die when they don't need to, and it's as if the state wants to make sure that they have control. But it's all of these laws and these loops and this red tape that we gotta jump through just to save lives and to prevent more catastrophe from happening. Yeah, all of that for the state to continue to control, when it is the law of necessity. It is necessary for people to be coming in. Yeah, the tourists, show your ID, you kind of go in there, but if people are trying to come in to just pick up family members, to take them out, how are you gonna turn people away? So please be vigilant. Lahaina community, we gotta stick together. I am very overwhelmed with things that are going on, and I'm doing my best to point people in directions that they can help. And I will be continuing to document things that are going on here on this side of the island. It is as if they cut us off from the rest of the world and they're not letting us get out. You know, people don't even have cell phone service to contact their families to let them know they're okay. The only way you can do that is to go to certain places, which is outside of the perimeter that the cops have set. And they can't even do that to let their families know that they're okay, because they can't come back in. You know, people have nothing. People have nothing. People are suffering. People need medication. People need food, gas, water. And yeah, it's all slowly coming here, but it could have been here yesterday. It could have been here earlier this morning, you know. So, aloha guys, sorry for the rant, but I need to get the word out there to let people know exactly what's going on, because it's a lot worse than the media has made it out to be. A lot worse.
Aloha, my name is Tiare Lawrence. We are Na Ohana Olele, a coalition of community members in Lahaina. Today we call on Governor Josh Green to meet 3 demands for the recovery of the Lahaina community. The demands are: 1, give our community time to grieve. The fire occurred only 10 days ago and many people are still in shock and mourning. The governor should not rush to rebuild the community without first giving people time to heal, especially without including the community itself in the planning. 2, put the community first in any planning process for rebuilding Lahaina. The governor should work with the community to develop a plan that meets the needs of the people. Fast-track development cannot come at the cost of community control. Number 3, we ask the governor to amend the emergency proclamation to ensure that Chapter 92 Sunshine Law remains in full force. This law guarantees the public's right to know about government decision-making and the discussions and information used in that process. The governor should ensure that all decisions about the rebuilding of Lahaina are made in the open and with full participation of our Lahaina community. We need time to gather all of us together to engage in the important conversations that will be needed. And as Uncle Keamoku reminds us, we are a diverse Lahaina community. Our strength is in our ability to come together, to stand together, to work together, strong and resilient. But we need time to heal and to come together. We also need to be involved in the planning process for rebuilding our community. We ask that the governor meet our demands and work with us to create a better future for Lahaina. Come talk to us. Na Ohana Olele is a coalition of community members who have been taking action on many fronts to care for their beloved Ohana, friends and community. The coalition includes residents who have support of a wide array of individuals, organizations, and institutions. The fire that destroyed much of Lahaina on August 8th was a devastating tragedy. The community is still reeling from the loss, and many people are still displaced from their homes. The governor's plan to rebuild the community must be based on the needs of the people, not the interests of developers. Na Ohana Olele calls on the governor to meet its 3 demands and to work with the community in the rebuild of Lahaina. The future of the community depends on it.
How dare these careless, self-absorbed, hedonistic, selfish souls be allowed any kind of aloha for our people. In fact, I hope these agencies apologize to the community in Lahaina. We can do better. We must do better. We understand by the acts that we have to be resolved to depend upon ourselves. We cannot depend on those who service the needs of the foreign tourists first over their own. Yes, and as I'm speaking right now, there are long, long lines of people in the sun standing just to get fuel, while those frolic in the ocean. So the big message for me is that we must all organize. We must speak out. We must demand that the Lahaina community, especially the community leaders, are at the forefront of any decision making. Whether for what has happened, and then more importantly, what we do today and into the future. As the great Muhammad Ali said, as a poem I often say, Muhammad Ali said, me, we. And I think that's the message. If this is about we, if this is a kako thing, then we in all industries, including government, including the tourist industry, including the local families, the native Hawaiian families, must all work together. We all must see and visualize a revitalized, healthy, and safe Lahaina for the future, for our children and grandchildren. But I just want to end by thanking our community. Our community has really stepped forward. And it's in these tough times we show what aloha is really about. And that we cannot depend on those who somehow were selected in many ways to provide us with leadership. In fact, I'll end with this famous Olelo no ea, words of wisdom from our kupuna. Iali ino kiali ike kanaka. Iali ino kiali ike kanaka. And ali'i is an li'i because of the people. And what that teaches us is that we should never look to somehow follow some so-called leader to take us where we need to go. Instead, we must, as our kupuna taught us, think about how we serve. And by serving, we better the future of our people. We depend on ourselves. We organize, we organize, we organize. We take charge of our future. And we demand, and we require, and we're going to mandate that decisions for what is best for Lahaina is led by those of Lahaina. Aloha nui, aloha aina, o ia i'o. Kavele ana.